UK Bargain Bin. Have you heard of that one?
No, I'm
They're
not
really good
very
lads.
well aware of like CG UK, so that's why I'm curious. I'd love to hear
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. There's a CG UK group, core group, um, and there's
That's like
also
Charlie. That's
that's
Charlie's
right. Yeah,
London, Call
yeah.
Me Mark,
Oh,
That's
Charlie's
the
okay. Well,
one. Yeah,
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 no,
yeah.
I know both of
Charlie's
them.
husband, whose name Jan is his
Jan,
name,
stencil
right?
artist Jan. Yeah, yeah,
Jan.
yeah. I
Yeah.
get on well with those guys.
I love
And
Call Me Mark.
yeah,
That
he's
guy's
he's quite
awesome.
funny.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely one of my favorites. Out of the group, just because he's the most entertaining, I think. That tends to be my go-to. I don't like watching, and Charlie's streams are okay. Um,
She's super nice.
but she's super nice, and she works her ass off.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely does. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this.
So, we have Ross here. Ross, one,
Bamfylde.
yeah. Well,
Hello,
I mean, I
everyone.
think
Yes, he is the creator of Chateau Obsidian, which is over on Kickstarter at the moment. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about it. And obviously, he's from the UK.
I am indeed.
So he's kind enough to wake up at some ungodly hour of the morning and join us. Thank
That's
you,
right.
by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Just on 3:30 now. 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, good Lord. At least you get to go back to
wow.
sleep.
Yeah.
We don't do this for hours, so you can go right back to sleep.
I might nod off for a bit if you don't mind. You know, just go on autopilot for a bit.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's fine, but only after. Would you mind telling us just like a little bit about the comic? Like, what is the comic about?
Well, it's a science fiction comic set in the far future on the starship, on the cruise starship Mayflower. So it's set a few hundred years in the future, and on this starship, there's a conspiracy that's found of a criminal enterprise that are, for people who can afford it, they can move you from one side of the solar system to the other and make your body look like you're dead while it's happening, and that's all happening secretly on this cruise ship that's going around the solar system.
Ooh, smugglers.
Yeah, people smugglers like that. Yeah. And that's kind of found out by the couple that work on the ship, Jack and Sarah, and they get involved in the conspiracy as they find out more about it, and as it goes wrong as well. And also in a second timeline, the ship further into the future is in the control of a pirate captain named Captain Featherstone, and he's just going about his business, stealing data from space stations and everything. And before the ship decides to turn itself around and head straight for Earth on a collision course.
So the ship is sentient.
Well, that's what we don't know. But the only clue that he has about what might be controlling the ship is the mythical Green Man. So because of the size of the ship, parts of it haven't been explored for centuries. So it's up to him to go through this ship and find out if it's actually the Green Man controlling it, and if he can stop it from colliding with the Earth.
Did you ever read Ian M. Banks' culture novels?
I did. I read a few of those. Yeah.
That's what it was kind of reminding me a little bit of.
Yeah. There's probably a few bits like that might have popped in subconsciously. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm one of the few people I think in this comic sphere that reads books as well. So I'll plop a lot of those references in too.
So, since it's kind of been brought up, what are some of your like inspirations for this book specifically, and then maybe also just in general?
Well, some older cartoons like Ulysses 31, which is very old 80s science fiction thing, which was the Odyssey in space. Red Dwarf as well, the British comedy sci-fi TV show. I draw it like a retro 80s science fiction cartoon.
I noticed that it's very 80s. It's very 80s.
Yeah. And I listen to a lot of synthwave at the moment, so that's kind of feeding into it at the moment as well.
Yeah, so, that sun on the cover. Yeah, I was like, oh man, that's tight.
Yeah.
Generally, I grew up being a big fan of Star Trek, and just the amount that you can think of, amount of stories that you can put on one ship is amazing. So I had all these ideas probably over a decade and just put them all together and decided to do a comic out of it.
Yeah, a ship tends to be a good pun vehicle for moving like a story, because you can.
Oh, bad
pun. I know, it was horrible, and I was trying so hard to come up with a better word, and I just couldn't. Because one, you can use the same characters.
I suppose.
Yeah, you have the same characters that you can because they're all still right there. But the environment constantly changes, right?
Yeah.
So because you're always going someplace else. Cruise ships are the best way to vacation, everybody. You don't have to unpack, and you get to go to a new place every day. But yeah, so I can totally see that. I loved Star Trek. I grew up, Star Trek was every day. There was an episode, at least one episode of Star Trek on from the entire time I was old enough to start choosing what I wanted on television.
Yeah, I'm reading a lot of Star Trek retro novels at the moment because I'm so annoyed with the state of it at the moment on TV that I'm going back to retro Star Trek novels.
I've read a few of those. I haven't read a whole lot of the Star Trek. I've read most of, I think I probably read all of the Star Trek, Star Wars extended universe, but I didn't really get too much into the Star Trek books. But I'm trying to make up for that as well. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to do that. It was always all like Asimov and Banks, and Greg Bear and things like that. So yeah. But no, this thing's really cool. This monster, I don't know if you can see him, with the multicolored eyes. Very what's the word I'm looking for? Very Mesopotamian.
Yeah, that was from the first few pages of issue 1, which were originally a preview for the first crowdfunding campaign I did, just kind of going over the story and what might happen. So he's not actually appeared yet, that monster, but he does kind of appear in a cliffhanger in issue 3, which I'm working on at the moment.
Yeah, very cool. I had a really nice time going through the books. They were really kind of cool. So,
glad to hear you say that.
Well, hello, Matt, John, Jean-Luc, Christopher John. How's everybody tonight? I was totally ignoring the chat. I was being a bad host. I apologize, but we were talking. So.
We do have a question from the chat from Jean-Luc Connery, and he asks, where are you from?
I'm from Cornwall in the UK, which is the southwest, the very far end of the little pointy bit down the bottom left of the island, if you're aware of it at all. So it's where everyone goes on holiday if you're staying at home in the UK. We get a lot of tourists down this end.
That can be good and bad. I've lived in a couple of very touristy towns, and it's strange certain times of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, well, I grew up in a little corner of it where everyone passes to go to the beaches and stuff. So it's not too touristy, little town that I grew up in. But I live in Plymouth, which is where the actual Mayflower set sail from, the one that went over to the US originally, and which is why I chose the name Mayflower for the starship.
oh, that's very cool. Yeah, there's not a whole. How is there a huge comics community in the UK in general, or
I'd
no?
say so. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there's a whole Comicsgate UK branch of streamers and stuff, and 2000 AD has a fantastic fan base that is online and amongst the forums that they have. We have one of the biggest conventions that we have is Thought Bubble, although I'm a bit angry with them recently because they kind of cancelled Frank Miller.
Yeah.
But
We covered that.
Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah, we covered that on our show. Briefly. We didn't get into too much detail because that was kind of a bizarre turn of events that the biggest draw to a convention, you would just be like, yeah, no, bye-bye.
Yeah. I can't fathom it, really. It's crazy thinking.
Yeah. Well, life getting crazier and crazier. This is Jean-Luc says 2000 AD in England. Well, yes. Of course. And we were talking a little bit backstage about what kind of inspires your art. And so, and maybe we could revisit that for the people who are here instead of just us, because
well, it's 2000 AD mainly is the main thing that's got my brain kind of fizzing about comics when I was really young. It gives me a standard of what I kind of like, and I still subscribe to it to this day and get it every week. And I love the in the older comics, the Kevin O'Neill, Nemesis the Warlock, the really detailed nature of the alien cultures and technological things to draw. That's what I get the most fun out of when I'm drawing is just drawing the little details on robots and monsters and
I know someone who's he gets very detail oriented with his books, and he actually does he creates his own 3D models on the computer to make sure that like he's not so that everything stays the same proportions and the rooms are all in the right place and like the engines are, the right kind of engine for his spaceship and things like before he even draws it.
I'm a bit more slapdash than that. I start very sketchy and then just go in with the detail and I'm not so put out by it that I won't do more changes to it. But
I really like your the character designs too. They were really they were all really kind of cool and different. I must say this big multicolored sword is very Tron in 80s.
Yeah. The color scheme that I was going with that was do you remember Quantum Leap? And he had a hand link that was made out of lots of little kind of like transparent blocks of plastic that you just
I remember.
I thought, and that kind of image is stuck in my mind for years, and I really wanted to draw like a big sword made out of that sort of thing that kind of just generates from your hands, and that's where that came from.
Yeah, it is very, very cool. And then this again is which character?
That is the character Jack. Yeah, he's a holiday, I'd say, photographer, but holographer. He on the cruise ship, he goes. It's his job to run around the ship while everyone is having fun and record it and take pictures of them so that he can sell them to the tourists. On the top right there, that floating thing there, that is his holographic camera, which has a personality of his own and follows him around. And it's a picture that he takes on a particular night in the, some would say, the wrong place at the wrong time, which sets him along the path of finding out about what's actually going on the ship.
Sends him off on his adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the design of the little robot too. He's very cool. Yeah, he's really cool looking.
Yeah, that's Botry 19, and you say I know you mentioned the culture novels, and I had some of the drones in mind when I was drawing him for the first time, and that kind of glowing stripe along his head, that mohawk, whatchamacallit, changes colour with his mood, like a drone does in the culture universe.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's an awesome little detail. But I'm a total fangirl for the culture novels. So I could actually just sidetrack this whole conversation talking about them, but I won't, because then Dean will get angry.
The one. That's probably one of the only things that I remember from right now from the books that I've read of the culture. But that's one thing that inspired me for that. Yeah,
there were a lot and they were long, so it's okay if you don't.
Now that is a character called Helena, and she doesn't appear in that uniform until later on in the story, around about issue 4, I expect. And I've currently completed only 1 and 2 so far. But she is of a military family, and that is the uniform of the Martian Gauntleteers, of which her family have been in for generations. And she was really fighting against doing this, but after various circumstances, she's actually reluctantly going in for it in issues 1 and 2. So yeah,
it's very cool. Oops. This, and like I said, I loved. I had to crop this a little bit for to fit it in here, but that whole panel, that page is just beautiful. Because you can't quite get like the whole sweep of the cliff, and this is all inside the ship, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So, down in the depths and the bowels of the ship, where the Green Man's kind of taken over.
That's right. And, yeah. So that's the moment where they do actually find the Green Man. That's the captain and his robot on the ledge there, at last addressing the Green Man. And that will happen in issue 6. So that's far from now. So but it's an image that I used to sell it, and what he's going to say is locked safely in here.
Because that one was like out of the 2 books, I think that was definitely my favorite panel. But it's just cool. The detail in it is gorgeous. The coloring is really neat. I love all the different shades of green, without it being just like blobby, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lots of times, because there's not a lot of contrast happening in there, but there's enough light creating the contrast that I really enjoyed it. And then we're on to the cover for chapter 2. Very, very 80s. It kind of
Mhm.
screams Miami Vice in space.
Yeah, Captain Planet hairdos and Miami Vice, and yeah, I think it still looks cool these days. I reckon. Yeah, and I refuse to hear otherwise.
That's funny.
And then there were these fish. And
Yeah,
now, like I said, I've cropped these images, so you'd have to actually like dig into the book to see the whole thing. But I was trying to capture it. But the fish are just really freaking cool.
that was a variant cover. That particular image for issue 2.
And
showing one of the scenes from inside.
are you gonna? Is there gonna be a variant for issue 2? I didn't actually look at all the various perks on the campaign, and I apologize for that. But it doesn't tend to be my focus. So
the campaign at the moment is just showing is just
the standard
issues.
covers for 1 and 2.
Yeah. I've already done the way back. I did the launch on Indiegogo, the campaign for number 2, which included that variant. But the one at the moment is basically just kind of a surprise summer campaign just to get people introduced to the stories. So if you get a variant for issue 2, you will be probably just one of the lucky ones who get one of the stock that's still kicking around at my house, and
yeah,
so you may very well get a variant.
Yeah, the books are all done. They're all completed. It's just a matter of waiting for the campaign, whatever the campaign to go and finish, and then you'd send them out.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just getting more eyes on it at the moment, just to in the space of all the cancelled conventions and stuff that are happening at the moment. I was going to do one, but it got cancelled for some stupid COVID reason, and I thought, well, I'll see if I can sell any on another campaign and Kickstarter. I haven't done a Kickstarter for a while. Last campaign I did was an Indiegogo, so I'll just see if there's anyone on Kickstarter who hasn't yet seen it to get in there and get on board.
Yeah, the link is in the description. You know me, I don't tend to. I'm not super sherry. No, I'm just kidding. I'll drop it in the chat too. But it is in the description. So, are you still with us, Dean?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Jean-Luc is telling you to wake up because you're being all super quiet.
Oh yeah, no, I was just listening. You know.
I know. That's what you do. You sit there, you do nothing. Did you have any more questions for
Me?
For Ross as we move along?
My
Yes.
questions usually come at the end. They're the best questions. And
They're the shittiest questions. That's why I thought we'd smack them somewhere in the middle this time.
well, that's mean.
I know.
Jeez.
Oh, you know I love you.
I'm not sure anymore.
But it's nice to see a ginger, at least. But yeah, and this is that other fish page.
Yeah, that's when they appear in the story. So in the bowels of the ship,
there be
what
monsters.
were lift shafts and stuff came. Yeah, there are now monsters. Yeah, because they've been alone for hundreds of years and just been there to evolve into these quick big eel type things with huge teeth.
Yeah, they're very cool. They're very cool. And then this was just it was sort of like a montage page of the robot. But I just think he's so cute.
And he's going nuts against these big fish, and just loads of speed lines and blood and guts going everywhere.
Yeah. I was trying not to give too many spoilers in the pictures, so yeah. But it was really cool. And I think, yeah, we had another meeting of the Green Man in the atrium, sort of.
Well,
But it's not
yeah.
really
Well,
him.
it's not really him. No, it's
No.
just a big stained glass window at this point. Yeah, they've just come across the Church of the Green Man, and that's where we leave the cliffhanger for number 2. And if you look at the stained glass window, you'll find callbacks to the earlier stories in the previous timeline. So you've got the teddy bear that Jack dresses up to do his job in, and there's a mysterious redhead on the right of the stained glass window there, who may or may not be someone we've already seen in the story.
Very, very mysterious. But like I said, I just really dig the robot. So, did you do these pinups?
Yes, I did. Yeah, so it's all my artwork so far. So.
Yeah, it's just the style is just a little bit different than what you've got going on in the book. So
yeah, I go back to when I was saying things about, I'm not too bothered about details. If I think something looks cool, I might just change it slightly. So I've given him a bit more of a 6-pack there, just to
well, it's a pinup. It should be.
Yeah. And that's Sarah. There's the redhead looking all gorgeous in her work outfit. But that's another pin-up that I did. Those two were prints which were given away with the issue 2 Indiegogo.
Yeah, it's a very cool pinup. It is really, really pretty. It's very sexy. I know, Green October. We said pinups. Yeah, I think that's the last of my pictures too, Dean. So it's your turn to ask a question. Yeah, Dean. Wandered away like usual. I know. There aren't any pinups on. Whoops, we lost him. What did you do, Dean?
What did I do? Oh, we lost him.
We lost him.
Oh. No.
Hello.
He came back.
He's back.
He's back. That. No, it's okay.
I thought I was going to have to start talking, Ross. Oh, you scared me. Jeez. Don't do that.
Making work. Yeah, so we've got issue 2. This is all in pounds for some reason. Is £5 or more. I'd have to log in to Kickstarter, and I just can't be asked. £5 for issue 1, £10 for both.
Yeah. I've discounted the shipping on that one as well. So for anyone outside of the UK, it'll cost about half as much as it normally would to get it out to you. So it'd be more like £20, which is.
And which of the pinups are on the £15 tier? Which are the pinups that are?
Oh, well.
I'm just curious because it doesn't.
I would probably put this one, and the other newest ones at the moment, which would be the robot and the one of Sarah. Those are the ones available at the moment.
It's okay, John. He's back. Ask your questions. Since Dean isn't doing any work. Yeah. But yeah. The robot and that sexy pinup of Sarah for 15. And that's it. And then there's a £40 tier, which is
that's original art as well.
Contains original art. Both books. 2 prints, and the original art. So that is quite a deal. It's nice and simple. It's not too much stuff. I don't think.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this one is ordinary. It's my kind of summer convention stuff that I would normally be selling on a Kickstarter campaign.
Are there a lot of conventions during the summer? Normally, I mean, now when we're not COVIDing, is there a lot?
Yeah, ordinarily. Yeah, I'd usually do say 3 or 4 in the summer. It's a few little ones down this area of the country, but I'm really hope that stuff gets back to normal soon.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Nobody likes Morrissey, John Luke. That's just a given. Unless you're an angsty 14-year-old back in the 80s. But John Luke does want to know your favorite beer and your favorite football team.
Okay. Well, I'd say my favorite beer is a Cornish one called Proper Job, and that's an IPA brewed here in the UK. I have nothing I have to say about football or American or otherwise. I'm afraid that's.
I don't watch soccer.
I was when the European Championship started up again this year, and I was thinking, football is that people still do that seriously? Yeah, whatever. It's not my thing, I'm afraid.
Like the World Cup, it's like the only. I think those are the only time I've ever actually sat and watched it is during World Cup, and that was because we were pub crawling through San Francisco. And they were all over the TV. That was literally the only reason. No footballer teams, Jean-Luc. Sorry to disappoint. So the campaign's up. It just went up a few days ago, right? So it's got like 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks to go.
Yeah, well, just under 4 actually. Yeah. I chose to put up for 31 days for some strange reason. I can't really say why, but it's about 27 days left as of today. So.
Yeah, it has a very low goal because because you've already got everything. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm already making number 3. I'm just expanding the fan base and just want to get some eyes on it really. So just want to get it out to people. That's it.
I have one recommendation. If you want to get more eyes on it on Kickstarter loves boobs. So if you can move anything, any like that sexy pinup of Sarah, move it up to the top of the page. Because Kickstarter they love boobies over there, and boobies always do well.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, that would be my one recommendation. Otherwise, and that's just an odd one because. Though you should be thinking of that. You should always be thinking about boobs.
I find it hard not to think about boobs.
Dean's going to be sorry he missed that because he wandered away for some reason. Oh, that was funny. So what do you so you're still working your regular job, or they got you like all shut down, or
no? We're up and running here in the UK at the moment because majority of people are vaccinated. But my regular job is looking after 3 kids at the moment, so that's what I'm doing when I'm not drawing. I'm keeping an eye on a 3-year-old, an 8-year-old, and an 11-year-old.
Oof, I'm sorry.
Yeah, all right. Most of the time, sometimes I want to kill them, but I can't do that. So I have to just make sure they're not killing each other.
I remember, yeah, my sister and I used to go at each other quite a bit when we were around that age. So I can imagine. Uh, but then how long have you been drawing? Was Obsidian 1 your first comic book, or did you do something before that?
Well, before that, I did some work in the British small press in some kind of fanzines and things that are in the kind of 2000 AD fandom circles. So stuff inspired by that, and like Strontium Dog fanzine. I did a strip in that. That was probably one of my first ones. A Doctor Who strip I did about 10 years ago now, which was when I kind of first decided I want to do comics. And after doing loads of those, I decided to just have a go doing my own thing, and because I wasn't really getting anywhere with that, and I just thought I'd hit the ground running with my own comic and see what I can do with that.
Was it what actually, I mean, I get that you wanted to do your own, but like crowdfunding and stuff, was it just this whole CG thing that you somehow got pulled in and saw, or was it?
I saw, well, it was just lots of videos from your boy Zach and things like that. I found very interesting about what's going on in comics at the moment. And one day I was in my job at a call center, and they said, well, you've only got a job for so long. I was being made redundant, and I thought, right, bollocks, that's it. I'm going to take this idea that's been in my head for years and years and years, ever since I took time out from being an artist to having a go at writing a science fiction novel. I'm going to make a comic out of it, and that's what I did when I went home that day. I just started sketching and went straight ahead with it.
Well, hi, Billy. Nice of you to stop in for a few. Yeah. So you actually wrote a novel first.
Yes, yeah.
Or
I have
started to.
yeah, for this story I have pages and pages of notes in just notebook form, as if it was written like a novel. And because I for a few years way back, I was kind of sick of drawing, and thought I just want to. I'd like to write something instead of drawing. So I wrote a couple novels. One of them was well, they're both pretty crap actually, pretty much. but the ideas I liked, and I found that I can actually draw scenes better than I can describe them. So that's how Chateau Obsidian came about.
So you went back to the drawing.
Yeah.
So writing your book pulled you back into illustrating.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I wrote the plot and everything, and then but it didn't go anywhere as a novel. But I'd already done some work. I did drawing other people's comics, drawing other people's scripts, and then I decided just to get back into it and teach myself colouring along the way, and there we are. You know, it's that's how I did it.
Nice though. So I mean that makes it nice when it's all you, right? When you're the one writing it, and you're the one drawing it, and you can know that you're getting your ideas down on paper instead of somebody else doing it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's,
or taking somebody else's ideas and trying to interpret them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it all just comes from your head.
Yeah. I reading scripts for me is the most boring thing in the world. So, but I really love getting stuck into things once the drawing gets going. And the way that I work is that I will plan out the whole book, draw each individual page, not knowing exactly what they're saying, and then I'll finish the artwork, and then kind of have a good look at it and kind of a metaphorical listen to what they're saying, and then just type it all down as I'm actually reading it. You know, what I imagine they're saying to me. You know, well, that detail is the very last thing to happen.
That's an interesting way of going about it. I mean, from my perspective, I guess because I tend to be fairly anal, and I imagine that if I was doing it, I would have every little thing would be worked out first, and it would probably suck, and miss some sort of life. I don't know.
Well, that way I find that if I'm doing something and while I'm drawing it, if by some mistake I decide on putting a unplanned detail in a on a page, that might affect how the story's going along, and who says what happens to who may change, but the specific, you know, the kind of tent poles, the of the story beats are all still the same.
Right. Cool. Well, since Dean isn't here, hey Eric Hawkins, how's the park? Since Dean still isn't back, apparently.
What? I am back.
All right, it's about time.
I've been here.
And then you have not.
No, it's true. Okay.
Okay, fine. It's time for you to ask your questions, Dean.
Well, now
everybody's
I don't want
waiting
to.
for you.
Now I don't want
I have
to.
all the important ones. Now it's time for the Dean questions. All right, since he won't do it, what is your favorite cereal, Ross?
Hey. Ross, what's your favorite cereal?
I don't eat a lot of cereal, but my ex-wife used to like Oreo cereal, which I know is an American thing, and she.
Is it an American thing?
I used to steal
it's
that.
It's not like a worldwide?
Like
no,
Cookie
no,
Crunch
no,
Oreo,
not.
No.
No, that's yeah, that was I used to steal as much of that as I can, but these days I don't eat it.
Cereal's not good for you. Well, most processed cereal, it's all like sugar and processed stuff. But that's all Dean eats is processed.
Well, I mean, it's better than huffing my own farts, Vicky. So, sorry.
Good night, guys. All
right. Now we're okay. So pancakes or waffles or French toast. You know what? I don't think I ever put French toast in there. I'm going to.
Well, I'm going to subvert that, and I'm going to say crumpets. Crumpets.
Well then,
which are like pancakes, but I'll describe them. I like the circular pancakes that are, say, about just under an inch thick, and with butter on. They're amazing, really fluffy.
Yeah,
inside,
it's just pan-fried bread, right?
Yeah, it's more like a flapjack than a pancake.
I thought those were the same thing.
No. Well, I hope that
they're thicker and they're poofier than pancakes. They rise up a little bit more.
Yeah, with butter and Marmite. There you go.
Okay.
You haven't lived until you've had that, right?
You know, my mom actually makes the best orange marmalade.
Oh, I make marmalade. Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, we have an orange tree in our backyard, and so every year when it's like time, like they're falling off the tree, she makes orange marmalade, and it's phenomenal.
Oh, my mum made carrot jam last year.
Oh, I've never had that. Is it good?
Yeah, surprisingly. Yeah, she brought a jar
Yeah,
around
because
and
it
said,
doesn't sound.
Carrots are naturally sweet.
yeah. She brought a jar around and said, "Can you tell me what that is?" And I was like, "Is it peach? What is it, Mum? What is it?" And no, she had to tell me, and then it was carrots, and she gave a jar to my family and my brother's family, and no one could figure out what it was, but it was lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. No, nice. No, that
Yeah.
sounds good. Well, I think you've answered the best out of everybody I've asked those questions to. You subverted expectations. You gave your own answer. Oh man, I don't think I can ask these questions again. I need new questions.
I know. Carrot, you don't get, carrot jam. You can't beat that.
Good.
Yeah. But once again, I think it's really, really late for poor Ross here. So we're gonna go ahead and just wrap this up. But once again, I am putting the link to the Kickstarter in the chat. It
You
is
gotta
in the
ask him if there's, any messages he wants to get out there. Do you want to give a shout out to a family member? Say happy birthday to anybody. Just like people randomly do into radio shows. We don't usually offer this. I'm just being nice. I'm giving you this exclusive chance to do this.
You are so weird, Dean.
A little bit.
No, we've just had all the family birthdays in the last couple of months. So no, not really. No, I'll say.
Well
happy
then,
birthday to my-
I give you this opportunity, and it's the only time I've ever done this, and you just throw it back in my face.
I'm sorry.
No,
Right.
You are such a weirdo. God, why do I keep you around? I just don't understand. I keep trying, and this is what we get.
Ooh, I know what. This is Jonesy.
It's
He's
made up
here to say
for.
hi.
Hi, Jonesy. What a beautiful cat.
Aww.
I just got a cat. Her name's Meredith. She's
Jonesy looks just like Jonesy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder where that came from, Ross.
Yeah, you'd be right in thinking that. Yeah.
Hello, Amit. Yes. I do not, John Lee. That's awful. I'm gonna pretend he didn't say that.
I'm gonna pretend like I can get it out of my head.
But thank you everybody for stopping by in the chat. Thank you, Ross. This is really fun. Very interesting. Man, that pinup is just way too sexy. And if you go back, Chateau Obsidian, because it's getting late, 1 and 2, you get that pinup. If you pick the tier. So.
Yeah, and Final Fight Guy, by the way, says, hey, backed. So
awesome.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you very much, Final Fight Guy. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Everybody have a fabulous night.
Good night, everyone.